is Fuck You Dad.
Welcome to another episode of Fuck You Dad, everybody. This week got very exciting guest, the very funny Sabeen Sadiq. She's been on Limestone, is going to be at Sketchfest in a couple weeks. So, what's up?
Hey, happy to be here. This is cool.
Sabeen, where is Sketchfest?
It's in San Francisco.
Oh.
Hey, you ever been?
Mm-hmm. Actually, that's where I started doing comedy.
That's where I was born.
Stop
That's
it.
both of our origin stories.
What?
Yes.
Oh
There's
my
the plot
God.
twist.
That's
Born-
crazy.
The mission, baby.
The mission.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah, yeah.
great.
Yeah, like kind of pre during gentrification. So back when
Okay.
it was cool. Back when
Okay,
it's
yeah.
like the not a fun place to live actually.
Right,
Which is
right.
why my family moved. But yeah.
Oh, I see. That's cool.
And
Yeah.
when did you move, Kenyon?
I was like 4 years old.
Yeah,
but
okay.
it's important to me that I bring it up.
I know it is. You bring it up a lot.
If anyone asks where I'm from, I go, well, I was born in San Francisco, but I grew up in North. As a little kid, I would say I was from California.
Yeah.
Because what are you gonna do? You're gonna drop
and
that?
in North Carolina, that's a credit.
That is a credit.
Yeah, you're like-
that it's kind of like in comedy if you like you were like on the same lineup as a famous person. And you're like, yeah, I hosted for them.
Yeah.
They know me. like it's like it's true.
Yeah,
but
we're
it's not
buddies
true.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
I did 5.
It's true, but it's not true. But yeah, it's always annoying. I'm like, I go back to my roots in California. It's like, what do you remember about California? You're like, mainly feeding out of a bottle. Not a lot.
Yeah.
Really.
Did you do comedy out there ever? Like, did you ever go back to your hometown?
I just went back to my hometown, the old stomping ground.
Yeah.
The old stomping grounds, my mom's uterus, I guess. But I went back and did some shows in Oakland. Were fun, but the annoying part is I had like family come out at like every show. So I did like 4 shows in
Did they
Oakland.
want to come out?
Oh, they all wanted to come out, but
That's amazing.
and it was good,
It's
but it
bad
wasn't.
for you, but it's good for them.
Yeah,
They're just like,
well-
oh, he's a comedian.
Yeah, but it was
Watch.
like the first show. Like I didn't think anybody was coming, so I'm like, cool, just get a feel of the room. It'll all be good. My brother came, and then like I showed up like horrifically late because of this whole mishap. We got lost on the way over there. My phone died. We were in Oakland. Literally started charging our phones, like me and my brother, like on someone's porch. Like we just left we would just charge on like the outlet outside and then stand
Like a
on the
random
sidewalk.
house?
Yeah, we had no choice.
Okay.
We're in the middle of nowhere. There was
God.
nowhere to go. And then so I arrived like basically 2 minutes before the show was about to start. They're like, you're going first. I'm just like, okay, I go to the bathroom, try to get myself together. And I just hear my brother go, oh, hey, Oscar, which is my godfather's name. And I'm like, oh, no. And like, dead center, table dead center, all family friends.
Oh my god.
All family
It's my
friends.
nightmare.
Wait, who called you Oscar?
No, my brother said, hey, Oscar. Oscar was my godfather's name. And in the bathroom, I was
Oh.
like, no.
Oh, okay. I thought someone
no.
called you that. They were all there. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was not even the family. It's the family friends, which are different because the family fundamentally loves you, roots for you. Family friends kind of want to see you fail a little bit.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
is A. Henya's
You
kid
think
up
he's
to?
better than us?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what?
And so it was kind of, and the whole side of the room's going well. Everything's going well. But there's one table of silence, and it's them. Dead center. And it's real hard for me to shake. So,
Yeah.
so it's just literally just pure rejection from the front row.
Oh. What show was it in Oakland?
It was a silver spoon, silver ladle.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't do that one.
Yeah, and but it was like real. And then afterwards, it's awkward because it's not like you'd be like, the one was like, great set. I'm just like, well, good to see you again. It's
Weird.
I'm glad you came out. I hope the food was good. I hope you enjoyed something about this evening.
Whenever my mom will do that, she'll go like, "Oh, I want to come to one of your shows when you're back home," and I always tell her like, if you want to come, that's fine. You just can't tell me which one.
I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
That's like the nice, because then it's like it would be great if you just magically killed and then like someone was there.
That's ideal,
bad.
right?
But it's when you're like, it's like 8 Mile when you're just like nervously sweating, mom spaghetti, like you're like they're right there, and you have to do so well. You like prove that a decision was worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like fighting to justify a lifestyle up there. So if you have like a mediocre floppy 10 minutes in front of the family friends, they're like, yeah, well, he's insane.
Yeah, it's basically me trying to overcome my mom's, like, I gotta do comedy so well, she's like, it's okay, his car smells like weed.
Yeah,
You know, she has to
yeah.
overcome that.
Yeah.
So did you grow up in San Francisco?
No, I grew up in Chicago. I'm from here, but I just wanted to move for the hell of it, and I was
Yeah,
like starting
good.
comedy. I did like one mic here, like a couple of times, and then I just moved to San Francisco.
Okay.
Was it like the Greenlight Theater or something? Do you guys know what I'm it was called the Atomic Comic.
No, this might be before our
This is
time.
before you like got like out here. But yeah, I did a few mics here, and then I just moved to the Bay and just did comedy there for a few years.
Oh, okay.
Great. Well, I think it's a fun place to do comedy.
So
right?
fun.
Yeah,
I mean, I was terrible for like a year, but you know, maybe a little after that. But it was still. Maybe
That's
I'm
how
still
comedy
really,
works, you know?
No, it was great. It was really fun actually. Like I would do the improv, and I think I did Cobb's one time, and that felt really cool. That's like a fun club over there. But I never did Punchline. That's
weird. The holy grail there, isn't it? That's
well,
kind of like
at the time you had to stay there. You had to like go every Sunday and hang out. And if
Yeah.
you weren't there
Yeah.
every single Sunday, you were not getting up. So it was just
Damn.
yeah, it was kind of weird. I don't think it's like that anymore, but it was.
And what did your dad think of you moving to another city to pursue a thing you've never done, really?
Oh, well, I didn't really tell him that I was doing comedy. I was like, I'm just going to move to the West Coast. And we had like family.
Smart move.
And then, yeah. I was
strategically smart move.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just going to tell him I do this for fun. And he was
Right.
like, yeah, well, that's a great hobby. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm definitely not going to throw away my whole
Yeah.
youth to try to pursue this or anything.
Sure. My dad just wanted me to be a real estate broker, like how he's in real estate. He's like an investor. And he was like, we could be like a father-daughter team. And I was like, no. No.
This isn't the Disney Channel.
Yeah. Oh no, that was not good. Yeah, but I started doing comedy like way more in the Bay Area, and when he realized it wasn't a hobby, he was like, he wasn't happy with it. Like we just wouldn't talk about comedy. That's how it was.
Yeah, that's how it was for me with some people in my life. But it's awkward when that's kind of all you do. And then I have to sound like I'm like very invested in like my clerical data entry temp job. I'm like, yeah, things are going pretty well at Smart Resources temp agency. I think we might get healthcare sometime in the next decade. It's like what?
No, I had to do the same thing with my dad, where I'd like update him on this like inside sales job that I was doing, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm just like making all these big deals, and he's like, that's my girl, and I was like, I hate this. Like, this is.
Yeah, you just find any other thing about your day to talk about.
Yeah, I was like, I closed a bunch of deals today, Dad. Like it's going great.
It was like that with my grandparents sometimes, because just like I don't know about you, I'm not always the funniest person around my grandparents, especially my stand-up. You know what I mean? So they would always.
I bomb for grandma every time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what makes her laugh. I don't know. I've tried physical comedy. Like, oh, I hurt myself. She just gets worried.
I think maybe don't try so hard with the grandma. That's a little weird.
Well, she's always asking like, oh, well, how's your comedy doing? And I'm like, well, I got to make her laugh somehow. And I cannot
I just
do
imagine
it.
your grandma talking. It's like he just keeps falling down the stairs and going, why didn't that work? Like it seems a little much. I mean, the grandmas are fine. It was always like grandpa. I was just always because he just seemed like a serious dude, and I could tell on some level he's like, that's dumb.
Oh,
what you're doing is dumb.
Yeah, of course. He fought a war or something. He doesn't understand.
He was just like, this is dumb.
Yeah, grandparents can't respect comedy. Like I can't imagine that.
Yeah, they're like it's an outrageous. My other grandma thinks it's like cool, but I think it's because it's like against you in San Francisco to see me that much. She'd be like, oh, it's a cool. They all think it's a cool thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
But only because I have like a nice job during the day. So I think it's like a nice seasoning.
I love that. That's what they start with. They're like, well, he's a data services
manager.
Yeah.
Data content specialist, you get that right. A lot of magical words that mean nothing.
It's my title too, and I fucked it up.
It's just it means your job's gonna be automated away and like right now, like in the next 2 seconds. But
well, my parents tell people I'm a writer, so they don't say comedian.
There you go. I like that.
They go to the other dying medium.
I'm like, all right, I guess. We're not really stretching that far, so yeah.
I do technically write it in the notes of my phone.
Yeah. A lot of writing going on.
Got notebooks,
Target sucks ?
Yeah.
So were you like a funny kid? Is that where you like? When did you find out like you wanted to be a comedian?
When did I find out I was hilarious?
Yeah.
No, I was not funny. I was very quiet and observant growing up. I watched a lot of stand up in high school because I was a loser and I didn't have any friends. And so I would just go home and watch.
Sound like hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like everyone wanted me around.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a lot of friends. So I would just watch a lot of stand-up. Like I remember Googling funniest comedians, and then like I would just like go through that list and watch them on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was like Mitch Hedberg and like George Carlin and Maria Bamford. And so I just like watched their stuff over and over again. And then and then like I think a few years out of college, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go try stand-up for fun. Mm-hmm. And then I'd say like 3 or 4 months into doing comedy in the Bay, I was like, oh yeah, I should just like try doing this,
Oh, okay.
So
now you're like, I should try it, and you're like, now it's my life.
Yeah, because I was.
It really sounds like a bad like TLC like addiction story.
Yeah.
It does.
I just thought I'll try it once, and you're like,
moved to San Francisco.
And then I was in Indiana, headlined the Giggly Wiggly. outside
this was
market
for
trying
me.
to sell a couple tickets. Then I moved to a whole other city. I was obsessed with this thing called JFL. It was pathetic. But that's crazy. And so, like, when you got that inkling, especially, my mom moved as, like, immigrant, in your head, you're like, was there, like, a fear of, like, one day I'm going to have to tell my parents about this and they're not going to be happy?
Well, I mean, yeah, like, we just had so many awkward silences, and that's all I remember.
This is pre-comedy? Or close?
No, this is, like, during comedy. It was, like, I think when I was moving back home, yeah, it was really bad, actually, because I'd moved it back home to Chicago, like, 2 years after being in the Bay. It was so expensive. I was like, I'm going to go back to Chicago. And I was, like, doing mics every night, and my dad was, like, every day he'd be like, look at yourself. And I was like...
Look at it. So it is like an addiction. It's like you're going out every night for a fix, you pathetic loser.
Oh, God.
There's 12 people there. You're reading from the phone.
So
What are you?
bad.
To be fair, any person on an open mic, look at yourself, is a fair thing to say.
It is.
It is something they should do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should, like, look hard enough in the mirror, and hopefully they quit. If you can't, you're sick.
Yeah, don't...
But,
Ooh, it was tough.
I don't. That is brutal to have the dad go look at yourself.
Yeah, you'd be like, look at yourself. Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
My dad said,
how are you
"Look
gonna
at
make
yourself."
money? Like, it was all about like, how are you gonna support yourself?
What an I like. We're like, what an asshole. What are you gonna do? Is this gonna work out?
Yeah.
How are you gonna feed yourself? We're like, what an unsupportive, realistic asshole coming in here with very legitimate questions about an insane thing to do with your life.
And then my mom would be like, just don't tell your dad, just go. And I was like,
So your mom's
okay.
cool.
She's really cool about comedy. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're weird and this works. And I was like, thank you, Mom.
That's kind of how I felt with some of my family. They're like, well, what else is he gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then what you have to do what I did, just fuck up so hard in your teenage years, they're like happy. You're just like, well,
Yeah.
it's just not high. There's like a fun thing he's doing, I mean,
My dad was visiting me this past weekend. He was staying with us. This is the first time my parents have stayed at my, where I live.
Where do you live?
I live
like
in
10 other
Uptown.
comics?
No.
He's got it. He lives with a girl.
Yeah.
It's very
I kind of
adult.
got it together. I got a
Oh.
girlfriend. We live together. We have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
Nice.
It's very nice.
Very, very adult household, the Cartwright.
Yeah. And so I felt comfortable having them come to my apartment. And after the whole weekend, the only thing my dad said, because I was very excited to see him, like he's going to see the place. And I have a second bedroom,
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. I didn't even think that their bed didn't have a bed frame.
Oh, no.
It's just on a box spring, which I thought was good enough because the
20-year-old friends. Sure.
Yeah. Because he called me beforehand. He was like, "Listen, whatever state it's in, I don't really care. But is the mattress on the floor?" And I
That's
was
your
like,
dad?
Yes, that's my dad.
Whoa, okay.
He's a British guy. He's
British.
British.
That'd be so funny if it's like, no, he's not.
He's not British?
Nick's really weird. Nick is really weird. He
Yeah.
just likes doing voices, and we tried talking about
That's
it, but
his
it's
phone
not.
voice.
Yeah.
It's like-
His dad's British, so.
Yeah, it's funny because I try to tell jokes about him on stage, and it's like I have to snap into the British accent, but then I have to explain it first, so then I have to do a whole other. So I can't do any like quick. There's a quick dad joke because I have to do like, oh,
I think
he's
you could
British.
just say
and
he's
then-
British. I don't think you need to explain it to the
But
people.
I like to make that part funny, explaining that he's British. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Anyway, but he's like, as long as the mattress isn't on the floor. And I was like, no, of course not, Dad. It's not on the floor. What are you talking about? And then he got to the apartment. And he was like, what did I say? I just said if it's not on the floor, and look at it. And I was like, hey, there's a box spring. And he's like, what the fuck is a box spring? It's the floor, lad. It's on the floor.
Floor lad. I love that.
I look at you like in the bag, 2-bedroom,
Yeah, oh,
a long-term
we had
girlfriend.
candles
Look
lit.
at me, almost an adult. You probably aren't crying about me anymore.
Exactly.
And then he's like, it's on the floor. You're on the floor, Nick.
We had candles lit. There was beef in the oven. I hid my bong. I was really trying.
Wow.
And he was still like,
It's on.
it's on the floor.
Yep. No matter what you do, Nick, you're on the floor. You know what I mean? Spiritually, you're on the floor.
I did bring him back though. He loved the bidet.
Oh,
We have
that's amazing.
We have a bidet in our second bedroom, and he was like, I tell you what, though, that's a machine. He was like, that's a bloody
It's a nice way to
invention."
know that your
That's a
dad just
machine.
loves things being squirted into his asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, father like son.
Yeah.
We're
He's
similar
just,
in
just
a lot
sitting
of
there
aspects.
ordering several bidets. He's like, we're having one in every bathroom.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I'm sure he's gonna order some like $500 thing that like
yeah.
talks to
He's
him.
like, how can I get the like main fountain in Chicago or whatever? I don't know what that's called. Like imported into his house.
Yeah. Sabine, did you ever? Okay, so was your dad like a strict guy when you were a kid?
No, he wasn't. Like my mom was strict. Like
Oh, really? But she's the cool one with comedy.
it's weird. Yeah, it's like it's super weird. Like everyone in my family's like different when it comes to being Muslim. Is that what you mean? Like religion strict?
We're just being strict, but
Strict
sure.
in general,
Okay, I
but
always-
yeah, religion could be part of it too.
Oh no, my dad was like really chill. Like he just put me in a bunch of sports growing up, and
Which
you know.
ones?
Tennis. I was in basketball. I was in soccer. But it was like all at different times, and then martial arts. So he like wanted
Damn,
me to
that's
be
all
like
a year, right?
That's
he
quite
wanted
a
me to
bit.
be like a full on athlete.
Like,
Like
yeah.
he was like training me in tennis.
I didn't
Martial
do
arts,
shit.
I think every young girl should take martial arts. I think.
Yeah,
Sure. I'm a white belt in Taekwondo.
really.
Yeah.
The first level.
I did the first level. I was real. Again, this is a middle school.
So you did yoga.
I was trying. I was.
That's what
no,
that is?
I ran around. I literally read an article in health class about like it helps make people happier, and I was like, I want to try this.
That's the saddest reason for a kid to join karate. Everyone's there like, I want to be like Daniel's son, and you're like, I heard it's good for depression. if I knock this thing in half.
Yeah, I'm like depressed. I'm trying to find a hobby other than smoking weed, and then I'm in there though. But here's the thing about Taekwondo. They don't fucking respect it in Cary, North Carolina or whatever. This teacher is a fraud
Yeah.
because they would literally be like, so I'm like 14, 15,
Uh-huh.
white belt. There's little children running around, black belts. And I'm like, I could punch her in the mouth and make her unconscious. She's not a trained killer, all right? I don't care how much money her dad pays you. She's not anything. So
I like how even as a kid you're like, how is he headlining?
Yeah.
And so I was just like so mad about. I felt so awkward about going to a place and like running around with children.
Yeah.
That I'm like, this is lame as fuck. I can't do this, so I gotta quit. Like,
I could see
immediately.
you getting. I would be scared to fight you because you'd be like, all right, let's just pretend so we get out of here, and then they'll hit you, and you go, what the fuck? That hurt.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah,
happening.
I just fucking kick an 8-year-old in the face to prove a point.
Yeah.
Well, were there like all ages? Were there like
It was all
older-
ages, but it was like mainly children, then like weird adult, usually doing it with their children, and then
Yeah.
just my like fat, sad ass in 8th grade. And so it was just like really not a good time.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
And I remember my
Are there
grandma
pictures?
sent me
Did
a
you
card.
have the whole gi and everything?
I kind of had it for a long time until like 6
The
months.
gi?
I had the gi and everything.
Wait, what's the gi again?
Yeah,
I don't
it's like these
remember.
pajamas you run in.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah,
that
I
one.
had the whole-
it's like with
In the white, and I remember my grandma sent me a whole card, and I was like, Grandma, I don't really even give a shit about this. She's like, but I mean, what else are you doing? right?
At least this belt can fit you.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
We're having fun.
That's all right.
So you didn't like any of the sports though?
Oh no, I love tennis. I played for a long
Oh,
time.
okay,
I played
okay.
throughout high school and college a little bit.
Oh wow, good for you.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was
Hell
really
yeah.
cool. Yep.
The tennis is kind of like the comedy of sports because it's just kind of you. There's no team. You know?
And
and
you're
it's
just,
a
like,
lot
on
of
your own.
fucking work.
I would be so anxious. So he wasn't like conservative or anything, but like if I lost a game, my dad would be like, I could just like see his like frustration in the stand.
Oh, he
I'd
was
be
one
like,
of those.
oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad.
My dad was like that too.
Really?
With soccer, yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I still remember him now. We were talking about it when he was visiting the weekend. He was like, I always thought, if I had just been a dad who could show up and have a good time, that would have been nice. And I would have been like, yeah, it would have been nice. It would have been nice. Well, he was one of these like, Nicholas, come on! Like
oh my god, yeah, that's exactly what my dad was.
Yeah, and when
It's too much.
in an accent, when you're playing soccer, like all the other kids are kind of like, yo, that guy's going crazy. Who is Nicholas? Like they're like looking at our team, like which one of you is fucking up that much that is making this British guy like upset about his culture, like culturally upset.
I really love if I could have just showed up and have fun, because I feel like he's not just talking about soccer. He's just talking about the whole experience of like being
Yeah.
your dad. Where he's like, I just felt like if I could have showed up and have fun, maybe the bed wouldn't be on the floor. You know what I mean? Maybe if I would have been a better dad, it would be just elevated a little bit.
Yeah,
You'd be
yeah.
elevated a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe management. I don't know. Oh my god.
Did you ever get in like what was the most like trouble you got in with your dad though, besides losing a tennis match?
Yeah, honestly, my siblings would fuck up really bad. So I was like the good kid.
Oh, you're the good one.
So-
who fundamentally betrayed him by not joining the real estate empire.
Yes. I was a
probably
broker
what
for
hurt. You
3
were like-
years.
he was
Honestly,
like-
I think that's why that's like the one thing where I've just like let him down. Like,
Yeah.
I just wasn't a real estate broker anymore. It's just too cheesy. I
mean,
can't. Like,
You kind of have to have no insult to your father, but like like every person I was helping my mom buy a house like last year, they're all snakes.
yeah.
They're all and it doesn't take a lot to be like, this house is nice. Isn't this a nice house? Don't you want to buy it? Like there's not a lot of skill.
That's all you got to do.
Dude.
And there would be like all these
And
older
you have
people.
to live somewhere. So
Yeah.
you're like, well, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And like all these old people would like become real estate brokers and people would trust them because they thought they did it for like 20 years. So then they would and I was young, so people wouldn't want to work with me. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Like,
Yeah.
You just hold a coffee and go, come on.
yeah.
That's literally
Let's
the job.
go.
Yeah. Lifetime of debt. What do we need to
Yeah.
think about here?
Well, there was
Yeah.
only one time I was like super happy about being a broker. There was a house, like this haunted house in Joliet, and it was like up for sale, and I was like, I could just go in there anytime I want.
There you go.
I never did, but I
Are
liked
you like
having the
you're
option.
a huge ghost? Are you a ghost person?
Like I'm, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what you know
it's
means.
exciting. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's fun.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
horror movies. Like,
I don't know. I'd see ghosts as a huge. I was thinking about this because I'm almost 30 and I feel like I should make some decisions. And one of the decisions is if I believe in ghosts.
That's something, yeah.
sure, yeah.
Everyone, you got to settle.
I
on.
have to decide what I believe.
I think there's some crazy, creepy shit out there. Team no ghosts. Just spiritually.
no ghosts?
I got to be like, I don't think.
But you just said the first
Yeah.
thing.
It's like
That
God.
there's
It's
You're
like,
you,
judging
you
yourself.
basically just said there's ghosts, but I don't.
But I say
believe
no.
in
it's like God. It's like God. There's other shit out there. I'm just agnostic across the board. There's some weird shit that happens, but I'm a moron and I don't know, and it makes me uncomfortable. I think that's a fair take about.
There's never any 90s ghosts. It's always ancient. It's always like, I'm waiting for my husband to come back from the war. You know, there's never
There's
like,
definitely
They're
creepy.
old.
There's very creepy shit out there.
there's never like, oh, I woke up and my computer has AOL Messenger on it and I never installed it.
Yeah,
You know, like
that's funny.
90s ghosts.
Yeah. And just Nirvana starts playing.
Yeah.
Smells really bad.
Yeah.
Seinfeld's on the TV. Like, what's going on here?
That's a cool ghost.
Yeah, that's like it's a fun
I'd be like,
ghost.
let's hang out.
Go, you just join a mids is being smoked in the living room.
Right.
Do you have a story about your dad?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's just there's just like all these like random little moments, but I think okay, one story is like I've never talked to my dad about like guys that I've dated or like anything. I think my dad gets really uncomfortable when a guy like, hits on me or if I get catcalled in front of him, which is like I think it's a normal dad thing,
Yeah, I think that's
Absolutely.
right? Like a dad would get mad.
Have you gotten catcalled in front of your dad?
I did.
Oh, brutal.
What?
Yeah.
Animals. Animals men are, dude. How do you...
It's really when you
Wow.
grow up and you're like you hear stories. You're like, am I like the exception to the rule? You're like, I didn't realize that was like a thing people were out here doing.
Yeah.
Was that in Chicago?
Yeah, it was like a long, long time ago. And then, well, okay, so this is the thing that did happen. I was at a gas station with my dad. I think I was like 20. And I like went inside to like pay the guy, and this old dude, he was this old brown dude. He like just when I like walked in, he was like, "Hey, baby," and I was like, "Ugh," and like that felt weird. And then I just like paid him and like went back to the car, and I was like, "Dad, the guy inside was super weird." He was like, "Hey, baby," and my dad was like, okay, so he like took this really far. So he was just and I didn't know
Oh, your dad.
what he was about to do. Like, so I'm sitting in the car and he's like, he said, okay, well, I gotta go inside and get some gum. And I'm like, okay. And so he like goes inside the gas station. I see a cop car pull up to the gas station. And then I hear shouting inside the gas station. And I was like, shit. Like, oh no. And like, my dad he like walks out of the he like falls out of the gas station. He's like just screaming at this guy. He's just like shouting, like he just wants to stay in there. And he comes out, the cops, there's like these two young cops that come out, and I'm like, looks like I'm gonna get out of the car too. I'm just gonna join this party.
Yeah.
And like, we're all standing there, and my dad's like, the guy inside, he said, "Hey baby," to my daughter. I was like, shit. And the cops were like, yeah, that's bad. Like,
Yeah.
they like cared, but like not a lot.
They're like, but did they do anything after that? Like,
Yeah.
no, like, she's technically allowed to do that.
Yeah,
He could just say, I mean, listen, it's not great, but
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
arrest a guy for just being a creepy dude in a gas station.
Exactly.
We'd have to arrest everyone at every gas station. Gas stations would
Everyone
just
would be
closed.
arrested right
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly the energy that they had. And my dad was like, he saw that energy and he's like, no, honey, tell them how he said it. And I was like, you don't even know how he said it.
It's like that you can't arrest someone on tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tone doesn't do anything. And I was like, well, he said, hey, baby. Like, I put this, like I did a voice.
This threatening.
Yeah. And they were like, that's bad. Like,
Yeah, like the cops do, wait, he said it like what? And they just pull out the gun and shoot him.
Yeah.
oh, we're going to kill the guy.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
man.
yeah,
That's a capital offense in this town. You can't say, hey, baby, in a falsetto. This guy's doing time.
And the whole time, like, the guy is just, like, peering out of the window in the gas station, like, watching. He's like,
Probably still wondering if he has a shot. He's like, do you think she likes me? Maybe she might like me.
Out.
You like the cops?
Yeah. Hey, baby, who are your friends? Like, yeah.
Oh my God, it was so weird. And then one cop went inside with my dad to, like, talk to the guy, and then me and this other cop are just chatting.
He's like, so what are you doing later? You free?
Yeah. So you're single, right?
Yeah. Hey, baby. I see why you said that, though. I mean, you're sick. You look young. You're super great.
Yeah, it was super awkward. And then the cop comes back out with my dad. And my dad, like, the last thing he did was, like, shout at that brown man inside. And he was like, people like you need to get out of this country. And that was the end of that. And
Wait,
then
your dad said that to
another brown man. I was like, oh, okay. Like, that's not a thing they shout at each other.
Yeah.
Like,
Dad went full Trump supporter. He changed the whole thing.
oh, for sure. And then we, like, drove home so silently. Like, and then I, like, went, like, as soon as I got in the house, I, like, went up to my mom and I was like, Dad's crazy! And I just started, like, bawling. And she was like, he is! What did he do? And, like,
oh, my God.
and then they talked about it. And me and my dad just, like, didn't talk for a couple days.
I love the, like, as soon as I've done that too, like, Dad did something and then, like, in the car it's quiet, but as soon as you see Mom, you're like, he's fucking insane and I don't know what to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
It's like a kid getting picked up from kindergarten and they just, like, bawl when they see the parent. The teacher's
Exact-
like, no, they had a great time, though, today. It was fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my dad's story. He's a wild guy.
Yeah, hey, sounds like he cares, though.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's a lot of love.
Unlike a lot of dads on the pod,
Yeah.
he cares.
He does care.
It's most of the wild stories like, hey, he just went somewhere else.
Yeah, if I told my dad, hey, that guy said, hey, baby to me, my dad would be like, good, get him to pay you something, for fuck's sake. Buy a bed frame, for Christ's sake.
You're sleeping like a baby on the fucking floor.
Yeah. Well, Sabeen, do you have anything to plug before we head out?
Not really. It's just I'm in New York now, so if anyone wants to come see my shows, if they follow me on Instagram at Sabeen Comedy, that'd be cool. They could just
Hell yeah.
see where I'm at.
Do that, guys.
There we go.
Do that.
And I'll do the Lincoln Lodge plug. Come to the Lincoln Lodge in Chicago. They do shows every single night of the week. Hop on our Patreon. Subscribe to the YouTube. Anything else, Kenyon, you want to get out there? This will come out next Friday if you have any other spots. I think I'm going to be at my buddies in Chicago on Wednesday.
Fuck yeah.
I'm doing Jokey Okey, where you... Get this. You sing a song before you do the set. Why wouldn't you do the set and then sing the song?
I don't know.
You ever tried to follow music? It's hard, especially when you sing it. It's gonna be tough. So if you want to come watch that, come out to my buddies on Wednesday. But thank you so much for coming on, Sabeen. That was so fun.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was super fun. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks.
Hey guys, you just listened to another episode of Fuck You Dad. If you could follow us on our Instagram, which is FCKYOUDAD podcast. That's the important one. We also have a Twitter account, which is FCKYOUDADPODCA1. If you could follow that. Also, please submit any father stories that you have that you'd like us to make fun of, laugh at, or share. Shoot that to our Instagram DMs. And if you could please go ahead and rate the podcast, share the podcast with your friends and family that might enjoy it. And keep listening. Thank you so much.